Dear my friends, let me ask you something from the heart. Have you ever felt that your body is still strong, yet deep inside, there's a quiet fear that you can't quite name? A fear of waking up one morning and realizing your heartbeat feels off, your breath feels shallow, and no one is there to notice. A fear that a small pain could be a warning of something much bigger, a fear that no one would know, no one would check, and no one would be there in time to help. I know that as the years pass, these fears grow silently. The fear of illness, of being forgotten, of facing everything alone. Many of you may think, I'm fine. I can take care of myself. I don't need anyone. But research across Europe and the United States has revealed something startling. After the age of 60, isolation doesn't just affect your mind. It accelerates aging, weakens the immune system, and increases the risk of heart disease and early memory loss. Even more shocking, a large-scale study from the University of California found that loneliness can shorten a person's lifespan by up to 8 years, making it deadlier than smoking or obesity. When people live without connection, their stress hormones spike, blood pressure rises, and their risk of stroke and diabetes nearly doubles. However, there's incredible news, a powerful secret to living longer, feeling younger, and staying strong. And it has nothing to do with expensive medicine or exhausting workouts. It's something so natural, so human, and yet so many of us overlook it. A secret that world-leading gerontologists call the most effective natural therapy for longevity. And that secret, I'll be revealing in full detail today. 5 reasons why older adults need friendships to live longer and happier lives. So please, my friends, stay with me until the end of this video, because what I'm about to share might just change the way you see aging forever. You'll discover why some people stay vibrant, smiling, and full of energy well into their 90s, while others lose their spark far too soon. There's a science behind joy. There's a reason why laughter adds years to your life, why companionship strengthens your heart, and why shared moments can heal the soul faster than any pill ever could. I promise you, by the time we finish, you'll understand that the secret to longevity isn't hidden in medicine, but in connection. And perhaps, after today, you'll pick up the phone, call an old friend, and start giving yourself one of the greatest gifts life has to offer, the gift of human connection. Because sometimes all it takes to live longer is simply not to live alone. My dear friends, the very first reason I want to share with you today is this. Friendship triggers the release of the longevity hormone, a natural miracle drug that no pill on earth can replace. It might sound simple, but this is what many scientists now call the biological magic of human connection. Think about it. When was the last time you laughed freely with an old friend, or sat over a warm cup of tea talking about the good old days, feeling that quiet sense of peace return to your heart? Sometimes just one of those moments can lift the weight off your chest, clear your mind, and even help you sleep better through the night. And that's not just emotion, it's real biochemistry at work. Whenever we laugh, share, or open up to someone we trust, our bodies release oxytocin, often called the happiness hormone. This powerful chemical reduces stress, balances blood pressure, strengthens the heart, and even slows cellular aging. In fact, a remarkable 25-year study from Stanford University found that older adults who maintain close friendships live, on average, 7 years longer than those who remain socially isolated. And according to a global wellness survey by the World Health Federation, seniors who engage in meaningful conversations with friends at least twice a week reduce their risk of heart disease and depression by nearly 35%. Just imagine, a single joyful chat could be more effective than a bottle of supplements. I remember a man from my neighborhood, Mr. Robert, who's now 84. Every morning, without fail, he meets his old fishing buddies for coffee by the lake. He once told me with a smile, "We laugh so much that even sickness doesn't dare to stay around us." And I believe him. Joy, laughter, and connection, they are nature's purest medicine. So, my dear friends, never underestimate the power of friendship, especially as the years go by. Sometimes all it takes is one phone call, one friendly visit, or one simple "How are you today?" to awaken the body's healing systems and keep the spirit young. If you feel that what I shared today resonates with you, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to my channel. so together we can continue spreading wisdom and light to help older adults live longer, stronger, and happier lives each day. Because sometimes, a smile shared between friends can heal more than any medicine ever could. And in our next reason, I'll reveal another powerful secret, one that keeps the mind sharp and clear, even at 70 or 80 years old. Stay tuned, my friends. The best is yet to come. The second reason I want to share with you today is this. Friendship keeps the mind sharp and slows down the decline of memory. Many people believe that keeping the brain healthy is all about eating the right food or getting enough sleep. But modern neuroscience tells us something fascinating. Our brain's clarity depends just as much on social connection as it does on nutrition. Every time we chat with a friend, recall an old story, or engage in a lively debate, our brain switches into high gear, remembering, analyzing, responding, creating. It's like a natural gym workout for the neurons, helping them stay strong, flexible, and youthful. A Harvard Brain Health study found that older adults who engage in meaningful social conversations at least 4 times a week are 52% less likely to experience memory decline compared to those who live in isolation. Meanwhile, in Sweden, one of the world's healthiest nations for seniors, more than 80% of people over 70 maintain small friendship groups. They walk together, play board games, or share morning coffee while exchanging stories. One neurologist from the European Cognitive Research Center, Dr. Michael Rosenthal, said it beautifully. The brain doesn't fade because of age. It fades because of disconnection. Every human interaction is an electric spark that reignites the mind. Even ancient Eastern medicine agrees. In the Book of Internal Harmony, an old saying reads, "When the heart is joyful and the spirit connected, energy flows freely and wisdom remains bright." In other words, when we laugh, talk, and stay emotionally alive, our energy circulates better, our mood improves, and our mind becomes clear and alert. But when we let loneliness settle in, the brain begins to slow down, neural connections weaken, memory slips, and the world starts to feel smaller. Thankfully, this is not irreversible, and the cure is simpler than most think. Call or message one old friend every day. Join a community group, a walking club, or simply take a short stroll with a neighbor. Spend at least 15 minutes each day in conversation. Talk about memories, family, or even the small joys of life. I truly believe, my friends, that these small acts of connection can bring astonishing results. The more we engage, the sharper our minds become, and the more youthful our hearts will feel, no matter the age. If you believe what I shared today makes sense, leave the number 2 in the comments below. But if you feel it doesn't quite convince you yet, leave a 0 and we'll continue exploring together. Because sometimes, one heartfelt conversation today might just be the secret to keeping your mind young for many, many years to come. My dear friends, the third reason I want to share with you today is this. True friendship helps us heal faster from illness. At some point in life, each of us faces moments of weakness, illness, fatigue, or long days in a hospital bed. There are times when the pain feels endless and hope seems distant. But strangely enough, it's not always the best medicine or the most advanced treatment that brings us back. It's often the warmth of a genuine friend who shows up when we need it most. Let me tell you a story about Mr. Carter, a 74-year-old man from a small town in Oregon. He was once active and full of life, but 2 years ago he suffered a mild stroke. For weeks he refused to speak or join therapy sessions. He often said, "At my age, what's the point of trying?" His doctors were concerned, knowing that his negative mindset could slow his recovery. Then one day, his old fishing buddy Mr. Lewis visited him, carrying a small harmonica, the same one they used to play by the lake every summer. Sitting by the bed, he smiled and said, "If you don't get better soon, who will play the blues with me?" That simple, heartfelt joke made Mr. Carter laugh for the first time in weeks. From that day on, Mr. Lewis came every morning, telling funny stories, bringing coffee, and reminding him that he still had a life worth living. In just 6 weeks, something incredible happened. Mr. Carter began to walk again with assistance. His speech improved, and his energy returned. His doctors were stunned at how quickly he recovered. One of them said, "A happy spirit can sometimes heal the body faster than any prescription." Science supports this truth. A study from the British Institute of Mental Health found that patients with strong social support recover up to 60% faster from major illnesses compared to those who feel isolated. When surrounded by care, the body releases endorphins and oxytocin, the healing hormones that reduce pain, strengthen immunity, and speed up recovery. On the other hand, loneliness triggers cortisol, the stress hormone that slows down healing and weakens the heart. It's the same wisdom found in ancient teachings. One old proverb says, "Shared sorrow is half sorrow. Shared joy is double joy." Friendship, in this sense, is not just comfort. It's medicine for the soul. So, my dear friends, if you know someone who's ill or struggling, visit them. Bring laughter, stories, or simply a gentle touch, and a few sincere words like, "I believe you'll get better." Sometimes, a sentence spoken with kindness can be stronger than the most expensive drug. And if you are the one in pain, please, don't close your heart. Reach out. Call an old friend. Talk, laugh. Don't let silence make the illness heavier than it already is. Here are a few small yet powerful habits you can start today. Meet with your friends at least once a week, even just for tea or a short walk. When tired or sick, open up to someone you trust instead of holding it in. Offer help when a friend is unwell. Because when we care for others, we also heal ourselves. In the end, having a true friend beside us makes every pain a little lighter, every day a little brighter. Sometimes, one kind word can be worth more than 1,000 pills. And that's why those with real friendship not only live longer, but live happier, healthier, and stronger lives. The fourth reason I want to share with you today is this. Friendship helps fill the emptiness inside and extends the joy of living. We all know that feeling and a quiet afternoon when the house feels a little too still. The children are busy, the neighbors are nowhere to be seen, and all that breaks the silence is the ticking of a clock. Time seems slower, and a gentle loneliness starts to creep in. It's in those moments that aging feels heaviest, not in our bodies but in our hearts. But there's a simple and powerful remedy for that emptiness: friendship. A friend to share tea with, to laugh with, or even to sit beside in peaceful silence, can turn an ordinary day into something beautiful again. And the sound of another voice, the warmth of shared laughter, they breathe life back into our spirits. I once met Mrs. Anderson, an 81-year-old woman living alone in a small town in Maine. Every morning, she walks to the park to meet her 3 friends. They play cards, talk about old times, and watch the ducks by the pond. When I asked her what keeps her so cheerful, she smiled and said, "If you have someone to talk to, every day feels like a holiday." That simple sentence carries deep truth. When the heart is joyful, the mind becomes sharper, and even the body feels lighter. It's not magic, it's biology. According to a Harvard University study that tracked over 1,200 adults for more than 80 years, strong friendships are one of the most reliable predictors of happiness and long life, even more than wealth or career success. Participants with close social bonds had a 55% lower risk of depression and lived an average of 8 to 11 years longer than those who were socially isolated. Why? Because every time we connect with others, our bodies release oxytocin, the bonding hormone. This natural chemical lowers blood pressure, boosts immunity, and slows cellular aging. Simply put, a good conversation can be better for your heart than a glass of red wine, and science isn't the only one saying it. Ancient wisdom has always taught the same truth. Joy shared is joy doubled. That's why older adults who stay socially active often seem more radiant, more alive. They don't focus on what they've lost. They celebrate what they still have: friendship, laughter, and connection. If you ever find yourself feeling that life has become too quiet, here are a few small steps to bring back the spark. Call or message an old friend. Sometimes a simple "How have you been?" can reopen a bond that's been sleeping for years. Join a community activity. Whether it's a walking group, a book club, or a music circle, shared interests create shared joy. Be open to new people. Every smile, every chat with a stranger is an invitation for your heart to stay young. And most importantly, cherish the friends who are still beside you. A warm greeting, a shared meal, or even a 10-minute chat can be the life-extending medicine that no pharmacy sells. So, my dear friends, if what I've shared today resonates with you, please take a moment to subscribe to the channel and join me on this journey toward a happier, healthier, and longer life. Because aging doesn't have to mean fading. It can mean shining brighter. surrounded by the warmth of those who make life worth living. Reason number 5 that I want to share with you today is this. Friendship helps us rediscover the meaning of life. After retirement, many people quietly confess to me that they feel as if the world has moved on without them. They wake up to silence. No co-workers, no schedule, no reason to rush anywhere. What once filled their days with laughter and purpose has faded into long, quiet afternoons. And slowly, a dangerous emptiness begins to creep in. One that steals joy, weakens the mind, and shortens the years ahead. But you know what, my friends? Friendship is the bridge that saves us from that emptiness. Having a friend means having someone who listens, who laughs with you, who reminds you that you still matter. A short walk together, a shared cup of coffee, or even a message saying, "I was thinking of you," can breathe life back into the heart. Dr. Susan Malone, a psychologist who spent over 25 years studying aging and emotional health at the University of Michigan, once said, "When people retire, they don't just lose their job, they lose a part of their identity. But those who stay socially connected recover their sense of purpose faster and live more fulfilling lives." That insight hits deep, because no matter how old we are, we all need to feel seen, needed, and connected. Friendship is what keeps the human spirit alive and vibrant. Even ancient Eastern medicine understood this truth. In the classic of internal medicine, it is written, "When the heart is calm, the energy flows. When energy flows, the body heals." In other words, a peaceful, joyful heart, often nourished by companionship, is the foundation of lasting health. Modern science agrees. A global study by the World Health Organization found that adults over 65 who maintain close friendships are 48% less likely to suffer from depression and are twice as likely to live 9 years, longer than those who live in social isolation. That's not just data. That's proof that friendship is one of the most powerful medicines we have. So, to all of you watching, if life ever starts to feel quiet or lonely, here's what I encourage you to do. First, reach out to an old friend. Send a message. Make that call or simply say, "I miss you." Second, join a group or community that shares your interests. Maybe a walking club, a gardening group, or a local charity. Third, open your heart. Speak honestly about how you feel. You'll be surprised how many people are longing for the same connection you are. Because friendship at its core is not just about company. It's about meaning. When we have someone to talk to laugh with, to share a memory or a dream, that's when we are truly alive. If you agree, type the number 5 in the comments below. And if you see it differently, type 0. Let's talk about it together. Sometimes one conversation can change everything. It can start a friendship and perhaps even a new, brighter chapter of life. My dear friends, when we've traveled most of life's journey and finally pause to look back, we realize something profound. The greatest treasure isn't wealth, status, or possessions. It's the people who have stayed beside us through all the seasons of life. A true friend is worth more than any medicine because they bring warmth, laughter, and a reason to smile again tomorrow. Aging, in truth, isn't what we should fear. What truly hurts is when there's no one left to talk to, no one to share our thoughts, our memories, or even our silence. Science has already proven this. Older adults who maintain close friendships not only live longer, but also stay healthier and happier. And why is that? Because every time we laugh, our hearts grow stronger. Every time we talk, our minds become clearer. And every time someone truly listens, our soul finds peace. Yes, the years may silver our hair and slow our steps, but as long as we hold on to friendship, our hearts will never grow old. So tomorrow morning, instead of sitting quietly in the same room, pick up the phone and call that old friend. Invite them for a walk in the park. Tell old stories. Laugh out loud. Let the morning sun chase away the shadows of age. Sometimes, that simple act is the most powerful remedy of all, the one that reminds us that life is still beautiful and love still exists. I truly hope that after watching this video, you will take a moment to reconnect with those who once shared your joys and tears, because a good friend, my friends, can be more healing than the best doctor. They help us live longer, laugh louder, and find deeper meaning in every single day. If you feel this message speaks to your heart, please comment the words "friendship forever" below, so I know that you're still here, still smiling, still cherishing every precious moment of life. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. So together we can keep discovering the simple, powerful secrets to living healthier, calmer, and happier every single day. Because as long as you have one friend to share a smile with, you are still living a truly beautiful life.